you. I don't want my cold back. You can get it. So I didn't do the leadership. It's a coincidence that I'm doing a leadership thing today, so it has nothing to do with everything else that's going on. But through the leadership development pathways, this is the last thing I had to take, and there was actually an assessment involved in this, where I had to determine what style I had. Before I tell you which style I fit under, let me go through what the styles are. Bureaucratic. And each one of these, as you go through, and I really wish I had this, you'll see each one of them has a not effective, which I found interesting because it allowed me to look at them and go, oh, well, I need to make sure that I don't do that if I'm in this particular style. And I'm not going to read these. I know you guys can read them, and if you want, I can pass this on to you. The next one is altruistic. And this really is, the bureaucratic one, is more the one who stands up at the front and says, this is how we're going to do it, and that if you have any questions, that's too bad, we're going to do it my way anyway. And the style is most effective, and I wanted to point this out, when a decision has to be made right now. Altruistic is the person who says, okay, let's all get together, kind of make sure we're working together on this. What can you add to the group? There's active listening, there's empathy, and it's really kind of building a community. This can be ineffective if we're not given enough sufficient time to apply for the long-term perspective. The democratic style, which I don't think there's a lot of democratic style going on in our world right now, but anyway, this is consensus decision making. This is where we all come together again and we use collaboration. It's not effective if it's limited in time, and that if the people on the team don't have enough knowledge of what exactly needs to be done. Pace setting, this is where we really kind of look for the high standards, where the leader doesn't necessarily need to give a lot of detail, or at least they don't feel it's necessary to give a lot of detail. It can be ineffective if it's used over a long period of time. And if the team members are self-motivated and highly effective, then this is really where it can come into play as a good thing. Coaching is a style that really is dependent upon you building your own skills. It's most effective in a one-on-one setting, and creating a positive culture and promoting high morale. Authoritative, they provide long-term direction. They motivate by inspiring enthusiasm for the mission itself. And it's less effective when explicit guidance is required. So if someone really needs to know what's going on, then it doesn't really work for that type of person. Innovative is a person that looks at a future vision and wants to pursue the excellence of that vision. It can be less effective when risks are taken that make the team members apprehensive. But it's most effective when solving complex problems. Affiliative, the leader is collaborative and focuses on the emotional needs of the group. It is less effective when the leader has difficulty giving negative feedback. We all know that person. And performance is not emphasized. It's effective in increasing morale and repairing broken trust and working through stressful circumstances. So we'll get to that in a second. If I say the word leadership, who do you think of? Jamie Dimon? Somebody in government? Maybe a supervisor that you had? A deacon or a pastor in your church? Maybe a club president? If I say bad leadership, who do you think of? Somebody in government? We all know somebody there. But hopefully you don't think of a club president. But I'm going to give you 3 examples of leaders that I've had, leaders that I've been involved with. One was that good leader. She was that person who was initially a supervisor in a company that I worked for. She eventually moved up. She was actually the owner's wife. And this is a very small company. But she was the type of person where she had her hand on my back and she was moving me forward in my career, and I never knew it. And it wasn't until after the fact, when there was something that happened within the company that had I not been guided to the position that I was in, I would have been fired.
because my job that I was doing previously was eliminated. And I never knew that she was doing that. Then there's the bad. And this is a group of people within the church that I was attending back when my kids were in high school that, to put it simply, they were a very wealthy group of people, and they made what I consider to be a very bad decision in not helping locally, the local people within our community, because of one incident that happened that one of them expressed some concern over. And even sitting in a group meeting, it was no one in this country appreciates what we give to them. So all of our money's gonna go overseas. And even our pastor at that time went with what they were saying because he did not want to buck them. He did not want them to leave the church. So I ended up leaving that church. Then there's the I had a supervisor who came into a very well-established group of people. We were good at what we did. We knew we were good at what we did, and we had been without leadership for 3 months. This individual came in, and as he was being introduced to us, kept backing up. As every person came in to be introduced, he kept backing up. And he eventually cornered himself in his own cube because he just kept backing up. Never extended his hand once to say hello, never walked to our desks to say anything to us, even after he was established as a supervisor in our department. And during a meeting when I was presenting and trying to train him and some other people on exactly what I did, he's texting the whole time. And it was one of those where eventually, right before I left that particular position, I looked at him and went, "Are you kidding me?" Which is probably why he doesn't like me very much. But now we get to what my scores are. I came in as bureaucratic, and I know people that know me will go, "Yeah, that's pretty much what you are. You like to make the decisions and just have them done." But I'm also pretty high in being altruistic, democratic, and pace setting. And I hope to take these 3 or 4 different scores that are high up there and really look at what I learned from this particular project and bring that into the club and be able to use that and get everyone's help in making sure that we grow into what we need to be. Thank you very much.